I don't know. I'm really hoping this card gets touched on this list, and I'm going to predict that it does. I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to get touched.
Okay.
So if it gets touched to 3, because it would just make no sense at all to put it back to 2.
Well, they did that with Spore. They put it at 1. You know, sometimes they just like to test the
I
waters.
guess you're right. And I guess you consider Lone Fire to an extent, because the only reason Lone Fire went to 2 is to stop it from getting... I can't think of the equip spell.
Symbols of Heritage.
You can't get symbols, and they're like, well, he's a 2, we might as well make him to 1 to balance out his plans.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Alright, so fair enough. If it gets hit, it gets hit. Whatever,
Right.
I'm not sure.
I have Debris Dragon next. Do you guys have anything in between that?
Ultimate Offer we can maybe talk about, but potentially you guys really care enough to talk about it.
If you guys don't want to ban that card, then I don't want to talk about it, because that card's
That's
so
exactly
annoying.
what I'm saying.
I mean, that card's been at 2,
Possible to ban, I
and
don't
then
know.
at 1, and then at 2, and
Probably
then at 1.
Probably not this list, because I don't think there's been really any deck this format that actually...
With Dolces.
I know they exist. I was going to say that, but I don't think any deck really made a presence that play Ultimate Offering. So.
Yeah. I mean, they made a very, very small splash in a very dragon-filled pond, but, like, I don't know. I don't see much happening to that card. I think they're going to leave it at 1 because they like it existing. They just don't... they keep trying to put it to 2. Every few lists, they go, all right, put it to 2, and then they're like, shit, that card's broken, put it back to 1. And then they're like, wait a second, this card's at 1, put it to 2 again. And then because they keep forgetting, I don't know. Yeah. I do not like that card.
So, is your list in alphabetical order?
Yeah, it's just I'm skipping things. So if I skip something you want to talk about, you know.
I mean, I figured we could potentially talk about Christia, but it depends on how much you guys want to.
Well, what do you think could happen to it?
I mean, I would say more than 2 to 3. I haven't, like, the last deck that used Christia was Agents, and I don't really remember that.
Last time I saw Agents.
Last time I saw Agents was Lysias Providence from some guy, like, may have topped with a 45 card deck.
I'm gonna predict Duloran to 3.
And I don't even know if there was Christia.
I'm not kidding.
I know, they're never going to learn. They're going to try it again. They're going to be like, oh, okay, it's fine now.
I'm just gonna ban Symbols of Heritage. So it's
Yeah,
Duloran to 3.
that'd be the better thing to do, but they're not going to do it.
Yes, they are. They're gonna ban it with the new Harpy thing coming out.
Yeah, because I talked to Frank, you know, he confirmed that you can activate it with more than 3 in the grave, even though it says 3. So
obviously, they're gonna
with more than 3 what's in the
limit
grave?
every single Harpy card.
if you have more than 3 Harpy Ladies in the grave, because of
That doesn't matter. You don't use it on Harpy Lady.
I'm just saying you can.
Yes, but that's not the reason why it's good.
What do you think the reason it's good is?
Because you get back Ancient Fairy Dragon.
I
And
mean,
you FTK
yes.
them. That's the FTK,
I know,
You'll-
but you can also use it to get back Harpy Lady stuff.
I guess.
And
That's not good.
more importantly than
Harpies
that,
suck. The FTK is a 2-card FTK.
okay.
It's almost as good as when there's the 1-card FTK with Future Fusion.
That was stupid. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, we want them to demand Symbols of Heritage, but they're never gonna. Okay. I guess.
Do you want to talk
Anything
about
else to talk about?
Drake?
What's up?
Free Dragon, right? Isn't that what do you
Oh
want?
yeah, I mean, if you want to, like they just printed, what's that guy's name?
Tempest.
No,
It's very relevant, though.
the
Yes,
new
Chameleon.
Debris Dragon.
Yes,
That one
Chameleon.
and the other one and the other one.
Oh.
Chameleon?
The one for
Chameleon.
no the
The
yes
one that
him
gets back Scrap Shark?
yes him and the one that
The stupid
Fire
one.
Fist used.
Spirit? Spirit's been out.
No,
No,
the 4-star.
Oh, Wolfberg.
Yeah, him, the Chameleon guy, Spirit, and a bunch of other things that are very much like Debris Dragon, but for other shit. Like,
Winder Rat?
yeah, Winder Prat. Like, I don't know. Everyone's got a Debris Dragon. I don't see why Debris Dragon gets all the hate. because it's the actual debris dragon, you know.
Because it's a dragon tuner with
Yeah,
less than
but
1,000 attack.
it also can't be used for anything except for dragons, and it can't be used with level 4s. So like,
But you
it's,
sure
it,
can't discard it for your dragon thing. Cards of Sanct, whatever.
you sure can, but you know, like, you can use Christia, which we were talking about, with cards from the sky, and then you know, like
It's
who gives a
also
fuck?
Yeah, but then you can't special summon.
Okay, but then I can set Miraculous Descent. I don't like. Who cares?
On to important things. He's also a wind dragon.
Tempest.
Yes. Okay.
Just bringing it up on positive attributes of the card. I don't see why the card couldn't move though. Like I'm just bringing it up for the devil's advocate at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like he's got some nice synergy with Tempest, but I don't think that means.
Yeah, of course.
It doesn't break him.
Yeah, like the stupid chameleon thing has synergy with that new XE, the reptile guy.
The
King Farrell.
Olympia.
He has synergy with that. That doesn't mean like he's just straight up searchable, you know. You can like being able to search a debris dragon and then use it to make something that searches a debris dragon every single turn. That's really powerful.
Yep.
But nobody seems to care.
Nope.
So why should we care about debris? That's my question.
I tried to care. Didn't really do much.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think debris can go to 3.
I don't disagree with you.
Do you think it'll happen?
Do I think it'll happen?
Probably not.
I wouldn't bet on it, but I wouldn't bet against it. It's something that could happen. Like I think it just falls in the many categories of, yeah, it could happen. It just depends what Konami feels like unbanning this list. Or maybe unbanning, not unbanning, but, you know, moving to more, you know, playable slots in the deck. But you got my point.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on what they feel real enough to just say, oh, we'll put this one back instead of that one. Because like these cards have been on, by these cards I mean like cards like, that shouldn't have been limited, like Mizuki and Dandelion and, well maybe not Dandelion, Mizuki and,
Play Spreader. Team Striker.
yeah, sure. All I'm trying to say is, they don't hit everything back to,
Yeah, some cards just get
3 or 2
stuck.
when they just get stuck, so it depends on what they feel like unsticking.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably gonna get lost in the shuffle. How do you guys feel about what do you guys feel about next?
I'll certainly look at my list.
I feel like I can skip over Malicious and Tengu.
Why is that? You don't think they're gonna get touched?
I don't think they should.
Well, they do have a new line of synchros that they want to promote, and those are very nice cards to use to make synchros.
They are, but I don't think they should come back, and 2, I don't think they will. It just doesn't seem... I really can't articulate why. I don't see Konami doing that, but I just don't think they will. But I had a problem, like a personal problem I don't like about Tengu is obviously that he's 1700, a Beast Warrior, and if you play 3 copies, he pretty much sticks on the board.
Well, what about Mally? He's more of a dead draw.
Well, he's also a 6-star, and playing 3 of him is problematic because 6-star is very relevant.
But he offers no attack advantage. Like he's a pipsqueak, whereas Tengu was actually a kind of a beat stick.
Yeah. If anything, I'd be more okay with Malicious going to 3, but
That's what I was thinking. I thought Mally could go to 3. I thought it was very possible.
I'm imagining him like a deck like Heretics. It's not that. Like, specialing 3 6-stars for free is pretty good. Like special Techno, it should be sacked for Mally. Special another, Xyz, Detach Mally, Spanish Mally. But if anything, I think it'd be more feasible for him to come back to 3 than Tengu. But when was the last time Malicious was touched?
March 2009, so that's almost, that's 3.5 years ago?
Jesse Salmon.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
see. I don't see him coming back.
I don't see it happening. I just think he deserves it. I think it's been too long since we've had fun with Malicious. He's a fun card. I think like being able to use a resource that like replaces itself is fun. And he's a bit of a dead draw, so you have to play it with it's risky. That heretic thing you mentioned was kind of I didn't really think of it in that context, but they're a whole other story altogether. Like on its own, I think Malicious is a fine card. Yeah. I have Earth next.
What about
Agent Mystery.
I would hope it goes to 3. Is all.
Yeah, it's been on the right track. Like it was semied last year. Yeah. September 2012. So it hasn't done anything for a whole year. Maybe they'll maybe that like they want to put it back to 3 after a whole year. Hopefully it doesn't get lost in the shuffle like everything else.
Thunder King Ryo.
That's a good one.
I don't see them putting it lower than 2, but I don't know if to put it back to 3. Even though I think it should go back to 3.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think it should go back to 3?
I just don't. I think like he was a cool card that was very good against certain decks, but I don't think he was semi-worthy. I just thought he was a powerful card. Like, I think he got semied. I mean, like, I think he personally got semied because they wanted to push their new support, and Thunder King Ryo really hurt spellbooks.
He was also being played in that format. When he did go with it too.
Yeah, but everyone played 2, and then
Yeah.
they just semied him.
But that's just them acknowledging the fact that like wow, even the like windups lose the Thunder King, and then windups put 2 Thunder King in their deck because like that's how good of a card Thunder King is. Like that says a lot about Thunder King. You know, when that card is so good that the best deck that loses it plays it. That's I don't know. It's a big deal.
Right.
It was just too popular at the time, and it's gonna be a popular card
like
forever.
the card at the time, I don't like it would be really weird if they just hit Kaiku to 2 now. Like
Yeah,
Kaiku is good in a very like it's a ridiculous card right now.
but it's extremely niche.
But it's extremely niche, kind of like I mean Thunder King is a more general card, but it was only played in that deck because it was good in that specific time. Granted, there has been times where it was good, and you see Thunder King more than you see Kaiku, but for example, if Kaiku got hit because of this format, I'd say why?
Yeah,
You know?
I think we would all question that.
So I'm just paralleling it over to Thunder King. I just thought, even if people are playing it because it's good at the time, it doesn't necessarily mean it's semi-worthy.
Well, do you think that means he's gonna go back to 3?
I don't. I don't know what Konami's gonna do with it. I would honestly think Konami's gonna keep it semi though. Mostly because it's just historically it's been seen a lot since it's been printed, and I mean it's just Thunder King, and it's on the list now, and now that like a powerful card like Thunder King's on the list, I just don't see them just taking it off.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna look back in a few years, and we're gonna be like asking ourselves, how come Thunder King's still at 2? And we're gonna be like, oh, he's just gonna get lost in the shuffle, like Malicious and Tengu, you know.
Yeah.
We're gonna, or not those specifically, but we're gonna look back and be like, wow, he's just stuck at 2 because he's just stuck at 2.
Because he's powerful and he was on the list.
Any more monsters for 2 you want to talk about?
Possibly Tsukiyomi. It might go to 3.
It did see play this format.
It did.
Spellbooks and Dragons both played it. That's not saying it can't go to 3, but I think Konami's going to slow it down a bit, you know? Maybe next list.
Did the deck that got second plate?
I don't know, but the time it would take me to look that up.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
It's
very
overall
possible, though.
Very good card.
That's why
Yeah,
I didn't like, because it did see play. I just figured when it goes from 1 to 2 from banned, like it went banned 1, 2. I would expect the next link it would just go 3, but it did see a lot. I mean, not a lot, but it saw play.
Like, it saw enough play that I could say maybe it might go to 1, you know?
Yeah?
I'm not predicting
I don't
that.
think it
I'm
was,
just saying,
I think it's kind of like in, not to the extent of Thunder King, but at this point it has, like, Thunder King syndrome, because they didn't think it was a very powerful card, I'm assuming, when they started sending it up. And now that it saw play and it's on the list, they'll just leave it as it is. Because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
it saw play. So
if it saw play at 2, then 2 is 2 is the right number, you know?
I think that it's after this format, it's just not going to be good anymore.
I mean,
because it served the purpose. This format, it put the Kaiku or Jaugen face down for dragons. It put the little boy face down for spellbooks, and it put Dracosac face down for spellbooks. Or
but
that didn't matter.
Yeah. And we're
it
not
can serve that purpose in other
discounting that.
formats, you know?
It might not even serve purpose in other formats, but Konami might just leave it at 2, just for the simple reason it's all play.
Agreed. Alright. Anything else on Tsukiyomi?
Not really. I think that's about it.
What do we have after that?
I have a Hero Lives.
Hero dies.
Yeah. Like, it was semi-limited in September 2012 for some reason. Anyone want to tell me what that was?
The reason
Heroes won Nats in Japan.
they had a really good matchup against Insectors, and at in the OCG, the only deck that was really good was Insectors, because there was a lot of TCG exclusives that they just didn't see. Like, they didn't have Tour Guide, Wind Up Rabbit, Wind Up Shark.
But that means their hero deck played a Hero Lives for some reason, I guess.
That's because they were playing Bubble Beat.
Ew.
There was a
So not
whole
even
lot-
heroes that we know, like Bubble
No,
Beat.
there was
specifically.
heroes that we know there too. It's just
The one
there
that
was
won
a lot of
was
heroes
Bubble
getting
Beat.
played, and yeah, like
Because
Skill Beat was being played as well.
He just kept OTKing people because he just destroyed them. He like Hero Lives. He had 3 Hero Lives and 3 Equals, and that's like instant 4,000 damage with either of those cards. With Excalibur.
That deck sounds so bad. Well, I think it's going to 3, but I don't know about you guys.
It could is all.
I kept E-Call at 2, but Hero Lives is like the inferior part of that.
No, I'm not discounting that, but it just might be one of those things. It's like, oh well, it's fine at 2. I'll just leave it at 2. I'm taking the role of Konami in that situation, but Konami might just say, well, just leave it at 2. It's fine, you know. Like it's like it's fine, it's working, we're cool with it. It's just at 2. Like, it's just one of those things that might get overlooked. Plus, that deck's really fucking annoying.
I don't know. It loses to Deep Prison. Like, if the deck that you're talking about, the one that just makes Excalibur and swings in for huge damage, like,
Mirror Force.
yeah.
Prison.
Impulse.
That's the most like game stealing deck ever though.
It is.
They can top deck like 1 card and just win the game. They can just be like, oh, got you good, miracle, and then you lose.
Or
I
turn
suppose.
from, whatever, the fucking, Warrior Returning Alive.
Yeah, Warrior
It's
Turning
just
Live.
an annoying deck to deal with.
Anything.
So-
Any like Equal, Rhoda.
So personally, I don't give a shit about a Hero Lives moving, because the deck's fucking annoying. But realistically, I just don't feel like. I mean, Konami may do it, but it might just leave it as is, for the sake of, you know, just sitting there. They're like, remember that one time when that deck existed and it won Nats? Let's just leave it.
I suppose. That's why besties though at 1, like they do that sometimes. I don't know.
There.
Anything else you want to talk about with Hero Lives?
Nope.
No.
Alright.
Magical Stone
Advanced
Excavation.
Ritual Art is next on your list, or no?
Huh?
Air right next on your list?
No, I like Area too. I think it's a good number for it.
Okay.
Too much advanced ritual art, and you start having people playing stupid shit like Demise, and I don't want that. That's gay. I don't think they're gonna do that. Hopefully, but
I would hope that they wouldn't either.
objectively
It
speaking,
just went from limited to semi.
yeah, it went from 1 to 2. It didn't do anything, so now it might go from 2 to 3. Yes, objectively that's the case, but I
would hope not.
yeah, I really hope not.
I don't know if Konami will just say, why not?
I mean, I play Herald, and I hope not. Like, I don't know.
Magical
Yeah.
Stone Excavation.
That card sucks, big dick.
We'll talk about Heretic Seal if you really cared enough, but I'd like it at 2. But
Yeah, Seal's good at 2. Frickin' Magical Stone Excavation is on the list for some reason or another, and it's just stuck there.
Yep.
I don't have any stats on it because I didn't put it on my list because I just assume Konami's gonna be stupid again, but
I don't have it in front of me anymore.
I'm assuming that's another card that could be used in Morphin Jar FTK?
yes, yeah, Morph Ranger FTK uses that card.
So does Gishki's.
Mm-hmm. But those are easily solvable by other means. Like this
But
is a
they
perfectly balanced card.
That
but,
card's gonna stay.
Mm-hmm.
Magical Stone Excavation got limited in April of 2006, and it continued to stay at 1 until September of 2007, and then it went to 2, and then it's been at that since.
I think that's
So-
just where they like it.
Yeah, probably about that.
Yeah, it's too bad that card's gonna be stuck there, but it doesn't deserve it. Like, I'm not gonna say it's gonna move. It definitely should. It's probably not gonna. Like they have no reason to. Huh? Duality?
Oh, I thought we were pretty much done with.
Yeah. Go ahead, Duality. Go.
Duality's next up, and that got hit same time Heroes did. Because Heroes, I would assume because Heroes was playing 3. I don't see any other reason why the card would get hit, but
Yeah, that's
That
one of the
was-
most inherently well-balanced cards in like the whole game. Like, I love that card. I think it's
Yeah,
completely fair.
like you reveal 3, and then you take 1, so your opponent knows what you got, and then you can't special summon the turn you activate it.
And you can only use 1.
I remember why it got limited. Because the
Why?
OCG every deck was playing card duality. They were playing 3 card 3 duality. And they just hope to get the perfect hand turn 1. And then just hero you.
Well, I don't know. That's more of a problem with heroes, like, than the duality itself. Like, just
Exactly.
because...
I mean, you could also throw that onto a different archetype. You could be
They
like,
played
oh,
it in. They did that same play in Inzectors.
yeah, like Insect. I was actually going to bring up Insectors, even with their like current form. Like, you know, you draw 2, and then you scry, and you know you ponder like 3. You just flip them over and take 1. I mean, granted, I would think duality should be at 3, but I feel like it might just stick at 2 for the reasons of, you know, makes things too consistent maybe. In Konami's, you know, rationale.
I don't know, I like it. It slows the game down. Like, there's nothing
I
wrong
do
with
too. I definitely like the
it.
card. I just feel like
I
Konami.
think it should be a 3.
Good at 2.
I'm not going to predict it, though. Reasoning is my next card. I don't know what you guys have.
Could go to 3. Could stay at 2. I feel like.
I'm gonna say goes to 3. I'm gonna say reasoning goes to 3 this list. because this is the kind of list where they're like, oh yeah, Marshmallow's still at 1, and this is a card just like that. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just a completely do nothing card. I have Bottomless on my list next. I don't know what you guys have.
A lot of people have been anticipating Bottomless to go to 3. I think Bottomless is going to stay semi personally, but people are like, promote the Trap Tricks deck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Promoting
know.
that deck would be a huge thing for them, and it hasn't been as good as certain other traps that we'll get to this format, you know?
Well, it kind of has, if you consider the beginning of the format and not the last 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, Bottomless was still a very powerful card. Like, I don't see a problem with Bottomless because you can drag your sack. I think that's more powerful than Compulse again. And as well, Bottomless also hits Master of Blades because it doesn't target. Or am I wrong? I haven't played this format.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. He gets hit by it, but you know.
I think overall that card's like 10 times better than Compulse.
I mean, we can sit here and list all the things that it targets and that it kills, but
what I mean is, I mean, that card's been semi for how long?
Hold on one second. Bottomless 2009 in September 2009, and that's pretty much it. Hasn't been touched since then. I don't know if it was hit before that.
Nope.
Okay.
I just don't think, like, a card like, just to make some archetype that it's not even, like, the main thing of the set. I just don't feel like they're going to throw Bottomless to 3 for the sake of promoting that little niche.
Well, if you have a lot of big beaters at your locals, then you're definitely going to want to play 3 Bottomless.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, with the big threats of all the Blue Eyes White Dragons coming back.
It went over everybody's head except for face.
Thank you for that, man. That was good. Damn, I can't even like.
That was the best.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and say that Bottomless is gonna go to 3, only because of what else is on my list. That's all I have, by the way, as far as stuff that's on the list.
I think Bottomless is gonna stick it too.
I think Wind Up Punch is going to go to 3.
Great, yeah, I agree.
Yep, me too.
Check out my my ban list on Pojo at Murloc. Follow me, Instagram, hit me up. I'll be right back.
If you could actually hit him up, like take a club and like smack him around, like that would be wonderful.
It'd be quick.
Want to move to stuff that we think is going to get hit?
Are we done with the Road Tribute ban?
Yeah, I wish. Also, a drama trio.
Next. After all that, now.
Let's talk about Compulse.
Compulse.
I think Compulse is going to stay at 3.
I think that card's going at 2, and I think they're going to unlimit Bottomless because, the way from Konami's mind, you got little Jimmy trying to play elemental dragons or dragon rulers, right? And he makes his stupid Dracosack, right? And or not a Dracosack. Like, what's a better example than this?
Make a Lucky Street.
What's up? No, it's something that like I don't know. Somebody think of an example where Bottomless is inferior to Compulse, and then stick that here.
Maestro.
Bottomless is a Stardust.
Yeah. Okay. Little Jimmy makes like a Maestro, and it gets Compulse. Like Compulse is just such literally everything in the extra deck besides Master of Blades and Thought Ruler Archfiend dies to Compulse. Everything. And maybe like something obscure that I can't think of.
Compulse. I mean, this is almost irrelevant. Except that I feel like it was kind of relevant versus Dragons, but Compulse also gives you back the extra deck card.
Yeah, it does. But like,
in any other fucking format, that wouldn't matter though. So I'm just gonna shut up.
Yeah. No, it's definitely something to factor in. Like, you can just make it again. But between all the play it's seen this format, like decks that weren't even playing traps were playing Compulse. Like Spellbooks were playing traps, and they were like, "Oh, we should stick some compulsors in here just because